back on.
I'm happy now. Fat and happy.
I told Christy about my calling you last night over that Facebook thing and the fact that it didn't even dawn on me that you were also Scott. It's-
For everybody else, I made a post that I disclosed that I was rear-ended yesterday. I got my mom out of the hospital yesterday, and I got her into a care center, a convalescent home. And I tagged Scott in the post because, of course, he was with me in the accident, and he's fully aware of my mom and all what I'm going through personally. And so every time somebody commented, he got notified. And both of us being Scott, he was trying to figure out why these people are talking to him that he doesn't even know.
Yep.
Until he figured out that, oh.
It was just weird. It didn't even come into my mind.
That they're talking to Baxter.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, it was just kind of one of those times where it's like that old commercial where I could have had a V8. Yeah. That was one of those moments.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. My moment was the Snicker commercial.
Yep.
I went from angry to I better just shut my mouth and.
Yep.
In a nanosecond with that situation, because boy, I could see that INFJ rage coming on.
Yeah.
I felt that.
Yep. Well, it's interesting. In the time that I've known you, there's been a very definite shift. And that rage doesn't get seen as much as it used to.
Yeah.
So it's a good gauge in your path and getting, I guess, more enlightened.
Well, just since you've known me, you know, I completed a divorce. Mm-hmm. I had a house built to care for my parents and all of us in the same environment. And then my dad died. Mm-hmm. Then my mom sold the house. We got uprooted and I built the house I'm living in now, put all that stuff together, met you.
Yep.
And that was all, 6 months fresh.
Yeah.
And, and then it's been one medical episode after another, one hospital stay after another, one convalescent home stay after another. Mm-hmm. And just, June, her falling and breaking her neck and then moving her back in with me out of assisted living.
Right.
And becoming the 24/7 literal nurse and caretaker and just having zero downtime and everything.
Yeah. And so a whole ton of chaos.
It's all chaos. And I went from where I was on Blue Leaf at the other house of raging to finally
finding that calm.
Finding the calm, finding the peace within.
Mm-hmm. And I think that's the struggle that we all go through, whether we realize it or not.
Would have been nice to find it at 30 instead of fucking 60.
Yeah, wouldn't it though?
I could have avoided a few dark nights at the soul.
Yeah. Yep. I find it interesting, I guess, to look back on my journey and really look at where did the paradigm shifts come into play. Mm-hmm. And that's like when I talk about Dee's death, there was a paradigm shift in me with that event.
I think my biggest growth for what we're talking about in the paradigm shift was from studying Buddha.
Well, there you go.
I honestly believe my my biggest growth was coming to an understanding of what depression and anxiety was, how it manifested, and coming to a point that when I see that demon entering the door, I can just come back and be centered in my soul, in my body right now, and just be at peace.
Yeah.
You know, and just commune with God on that level. So it was, you get what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, it's kind of um, kind of right along with, for me, it was Ram Dass.
Yeah. Which is right along the same lines
Exactly.
of the teachings of Buddha.
Exactly. But it was be here now. Mm-hmm. This moment, right now. What happened?
And I've said that forever.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, that's been part of the mantra for 30 freaking years.
Yep.
I never knew what it meant.
And that's the key, is once we figured that out,
Right.
it becomes much easier.
And see, once we figure that out and we figure out the I am, the true I am, who I am in this bag of bones, in this body, in this spirit.
Yep.
And what that also did for me anyway is it gives me a closer connection to Jesus Christ and God as I see God.
Yep.
And the Holy Spirit within us, God within us.
Yeah.
I mean, it gives me a whole new level of understanding and appreciation for all of those teachings.
Yes. And that's the key. That's what I would hope that everybody could do. And obviously we know they don't. But it as Ram Dass for me, in kind of studying his teachings, like, right there's the book.
Yeah.
You know, that be here now. The past is gone. I can't do anything to change it. The future isn't here yet, so why waste my time worrying about that? Live now. Enjoy your life now. And I believe that no matter who you are, no matter what your socioeconomic status is, all of us can enjoy life if we choose to.
Yeah.
The problem is when we start getting into, you know, money issues,
Well, just,
addiction issues.
I'm sorry, but just like religion, it's all man-made.
Yeah, it is.
You know, and it's all, you know, thank your TV commercials and everything else. Thanks for what they've done to Christmas.
Yeah.
You
Well,
know.
and that kind of segues right to the video that you wanted me to watch, the Zeitgeist
Yeah.
movie. And like I told you, the first part of it, that talked about Christianity and all of that,
Yeah.
that I found very interesting.
I found that absolutely fascinating.
Yes.
But as we discussed, it showed me how ignorant I am, because if there's truth in what was said, it's phenomenal.
Yes.
But I don't know that that's truth. Therefore, now I have to study.
Yeah. Well, and
I'm,
that's the thing.
I'm not going to take the narrator's word on it that he's not just feeding me a line of crap.
Right. And that's like what I told you is right from the get-go with that. Even though I watched it all and I found it very interesting, based on what knowledge I have, which admittedly may or may not be accurate, but what I was taught, Christ's birthday was not in December.
Well, right, but
You
it's
know, were we even on the same calendar that we're on now at that point?
no.
That's what I thought.
No, we were not on the same calendar. The calendars changed multiple times.
Right.
And that's why the age of Pisces and the end of the age of Pisces and the beginning of the age of Aquarius You know, you talk to Ram Dass, probably thought it was in the 70s.
Yeah.
You know, and you got the music from the Flower Children and everybody else that
Yep.
was celebrating the coming age of Aquarius.
Right.
And but because of the changes and manipulations in the calendar, they don't know the exact date. But because it is based on the constellation Aquarius, somebody has to have the answer.
You would think.
Because they can't calculate this green comet just returned to Earth for the first time in 50,000 years mathematically, and not be able to calculate when the age of Aquarius begins.
Right. Yep.
You know,
Every time I hear Age of Aquarius, that song starts in my head.
exactly.
Every time.
We're both sitting here singing it right now in our heads.
Yeah, exactly.
But here again, we're talking about winter solstice. We're talking about multiple religions, multiple people, paganism, whatever you want to look at, that celebrated these equinoxes and solstices and times of year.
Right.
And therefore, it was inherited by religion to what? Control the people.
Exactly. Exactly. And it's we talked about, I used the word formal religion, and really what I should have used is organized religion.
Yeah.
And I talked in the first video I did for this channel, that was just me. I said, there's not a single organized religion that encompasses all of the beliefs that I have.
Right.
And I've said this forever, if I had to tie myself to an organized religion, it would be Christianity, because that's the way I was raised.
Right.
But the reality is, it's show me an organized religion that's going to have its basis in Christianity, but also accepts, I guess is the word, my crystals,
Right.
my oracle cards of whatever form they take, or runes,
See,
the smudging,
right.
As far as I know, there's not one that would accept all of that as
No,
part
because
of their.
so much of that is shamanism and paganism and this and that. And I was going to say Hinduism.
Certainly.
Hinduism is a religion that I want to study. I want to understand it, and I've dabbled in it, and I've read about it, and I've researched it, and I've looked into it. But to me, it's just freaking amazing.
Right.
And I want to grasp it and learn more about it.
Yeah.
And not to say, well, I'm a Hindu. It's to say, because I'm so Christian, come the end of the day,
Yep.
here we are again. But when we start looking at ancient aliens,
Yep.
and so much biblical text and everything else is about the ancient alien, ancient astronaut theories, and all that kind of stuff. And so much of the Hinduism is wrapped up in that.
Yeah. Well, and it's like you've talked before about Taoism too,
Yeah.
and yeah.
Well, it's just like Reiki.
Yeah.
Okay, Reiki is energy healing. It's drawing from the energy of the universe in which we all share.
Yep.
And there is nobody I know of that hadn't had a thought of, I wonder how Aunt Betty's doing, and the phone rings and it's Aunt Betty.
Yeah.
We share this energy field.
Yep.
Tesla, we had this conversation last time. And Reiki is just one of those form. What is it in Chinese? I was trying to remember the other day.
Qi.
Qi. So Reiki is just Qi. Japanese for chi and Chinese.
Yeah. And like I sent that link to that group on the Satya meditation.
Yes.
And I was watching a video that was in December, I think, but it was a live that Vilima, who's kind of the head of this, did. And I may be not pronouncing this right, but they use, I think, the word Kundalini.
Is it Kundalini or?
Could be. And I think, from my understanding, that's the same thing. They're talking about chi, about your life force.
Right. The my understanding, and I'm probably wrong, and the Kundalini has more to do with your physical body and your chakras.
Oh,
And
I think you're right.
and when they talk about Kundalini rising, it's supposed to be like an orgasmic experience.
Okay.
It's supposed to be very sensual, but it is no different than when we're talking about opening up our chakras, opening up our energy.
Right.
And you and I both can attest to the fact that so much of that energy, when that energy flows and everything else, is a sexual rush
Sure.
for the physical human body. Your body's reacting, and that's
Okay.
Kundalini rising.
Okay. That kind of makes more sense than with what was being said.
Okay.
Because I was hearing it with a misunderstanding of that word.
Okay.
And
I thought you said Hindalini.
yeah.
That's why I'm sitting there going, I haven't heard of Hindalini,
But yeah, and see, in that exact thing, there's the perfect example of why I wanted to do this spiritual podcast. Is to learn, and because we're both like that,
Yeah.
we've got to learn that whatever it is, whatever the subject is, we've got to learn.
well, Donna Eden. Look her up on YouTube. Donna Eden. Little gal from Ashland, Oregon.
Okay.
So right down where I was born in the area I come from. Donna Eden is a energy healer, and she's talking about the body meridians and parallels and all this kind of stuff, and she has no clue what she's talking about from a chakra or meridian perspective in traditional yogas and all, whatever religion that comes from,
Right.
if you want to call it religion, I guess. But she knows this is real. This is real for her. And then her husband, I can't remember his background, whether it was a chiropractic or a just a doctor of some sort. But he's sitting back going, listening to her talk, going, these are real things. You're talking about this energy from the center line of your body. This is a real thing, and this is where your chakras are. This is where the Kundalini, this is, your meridians and everything else. These are actual physical proven things.
Yeah.
And ultimately, those two teamed up together and kind of got married.
Okay.
And so it broadened her experience based off of what we're doing, just because, she had the gift. She had the knowledge.
Right.
And she had practiced it. And she's a healer.
Right.
But for all intents and purpose, she may as well be the native shaman
Yeah.
type of a deal.
Yep.
And but lo and behold, there's all this supporting facts and evidence that support everything she does.
Yeah.
Amazing woman, though.
I'll have
Amazing,
to look her up.
positive energy. Oh, such positive energy. I'm backing away, God, man. My little reclusive ass is crawling back in my cave.
Yeah. Yep. I'm gonna have to look her up. And And there again, that's exactly why I wanted to do this. There's something else that
Yeah.
I get to squeeze into my no time to do anything right now. But
Did I mention I've watched all the seasons of Yellowstone now?
oh, have you?
Yeah, yeah. I taught Mom about binging
There you go.
television, so
Yep.
we binged a bunch of series. So in all this last week or so that we've been going to get together and talk and watch the movie or whatever, I could tell you all about Yellowstone if you're interested.
I love that show. I like most of the stuff Kevin Costner is involved with.
Kevin Costner's an amazing man, absolutely amazing. I watched the by default trying to find Yellowstone for Mom on all these channels. I found the 150th anniversary of Yellowstone,
Oh, okay.
narrated by Kevin Costner.
Oh,
And I thought that was the
show.
beginning of the show.
Yeah.
No, it was the 150th anniversary of Yellowstone National Park.
Yep.
And the man was just phenomenal. He was out in nature camping by himself, communing with nature, looking at the stars, looking at the animals, the wilderness, and just explaining everything and going through the history. And oh, what a program! I mean, it was better
I'll have to find that.
it was better than the Yellowstone series.
Well, sure, because it was accurate. It was true.
What you're telling me, Yellowstone series isn't accurate? These cowboys and Indians ain't out killing each other all day long.
Well, the, since you've watched those, then you have to watch the prequels. 1863 or something like
I
that.
thought it was 1823. The Harrison
been.
Ford's coming out.
Well,
Or no,
1923
yeah,
is the Harrison Ford one that is out.
You're right. There's the 18 whatever also.
Yeah, when the Duttons actually came to Yellowstone.
My brother's up on all that.
Yeah. Yep.
No, unfortunately, as for entertainment value, it was entertaining. As for wanting to research and do all the prequels and stuff, it's in my psychology, it's kind of a waste of time.
Well, sure it is.
I would like to see it because it's entertaining, and Harrison Ford, I love the man. I mean,
yeah.
he's just phenomenal. But it's got nothing to do with healing and energy and everything else. So it's like, what am I doing?
Yeah.
I mean, good documentary, I'm there.
Yeah. And I enjoy documentaries as well. And but I also make time for just let my brain relax a little bit. It's kind of why when I go to bed at night, I read for an hour and not anything educational.
I don't know how you do that. I read a paragraph and I'm sleeping.
You're out.
And I don't really have any memory retention, so I can read the same paragraph every night.
Well, there you go. There you go. That makes it easy.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. But, yeah, it's all day long I'm trying to learn stuff.
Yeah.
And
Okay. And days like yesterday, we may be forced to learn a thing or two.
exactly. And again, that goes back, like I said many times, to the Celestine prophecy and how everybody that you come in contact with had something to learn or something to teach you.
Something to learn from you
Yes.
or something to teach you. There is no
Accident or coincidence.
accident or coincidental meeting. Oh, it's
It
my
wasn't me
turn.
this time.
So